Hello, everybody. This is Into the Splinterlands. I am Damour, and I have my wonderful co-host, as
Oh, I
always,
didn't time it right. Ah!
Mr. Roguepatton. Well, you're okay. You're just in time, actually.
What's going on, guys?
And of course, we're joined by the stash himself, Mr. Lorcas. Welcome, sir.
It's a hidden
Can't
stash
prove
today.
it.
It's a hidden stash today, but we all know it's there. We all love the stash. Great to see you again here live with us on air. You have been missed.
It's
Yes,
great to
you
be here.
have, my friend.
Are you still playing Splinterlands?
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing brawls. I haven't played ranked play in a while. I would like to get back to it. I just haven't made the time. Is probably the correct way of phrasing it.
Right. Understood. Yeah, so many changes in the game, right?
Yeah,
There's
so many
actually
new cards.
too many to get your head around. I don't think I have my head around all of the changes, coming in lately. They're coming in so fast and furious. How about you guys?
Oh man, not even close. I keep trying to keep up, and I think I am generally aware of most of the things, but I am not fully aware of probably anything.
Yeah, okay, I get it. It's kind of the
Yep.
same position for me. How about you, Rogue?
Yeah, I don't think not doing terrible right now. I think following the town halls has been really great. Being content creator, Splinterlands TV really helps keep all of that at the forefront. And but at the end of the day, there's still, I think, some stuff that I'm even missing in just like Mav Chat Discord or stuff along those lines, because like the town hall, they just started going off on the we're gonna take 500 packs and make decks for Nifty, and like they started as if like the whole audience knew what they were talking about, and like that this was a contentious thing that has been happening and talked about for the last couple of days. But I was like, this is the first time hearing of this.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I guess even like I'm not perfect.
So people are
perfectly
saying
caught
that's
up.
a bad idea. They don't want that to happen.
No, they're for it.
Okay.
This is their idea. They wanted to do that. But as for my opinions, I don't really know yet. But for the most part, staying caught up. I think the cool part about the reward cards is normally you would have to be like you would have to have a really good understanding of the cards early and make meta calls and like market calls. Like the market is always very volatile early in a set release, in a card release, and especially for reward cards, right? As they're being minted, right? That price is usually really high at the very beginning because people have to establish what is meta. Champion players have to go get max copies early, right, to be competitive. But for the first time, we're not experiencing any of that. And everyone just kind of gets to feel the cards
First.
as they go.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So there's no pressure to like, I have to own that card. It's more of like you really hope you pull it. Like you're super incentivized to like go pull it. But it's a nice pace. It's actually really, really interesting. I like it a lot. And they put some abilities on these cards that like one BCX is meta defining, like some of those abilities that they put on there is like, you don't need it at your max for your league yet. Try it out.
Try it
Summoners,
out now.
yeah.
You can play it out right now. Summoners as well. Exactly. That's a very exciting thing, especially for players who can't really afford to invest in cards yet, right?
Yeah.
So I do think it's the soulbound cards is definitely a step in the right direction, new player experience wise.
Has anyone looked at whether people are burning them yet? Like, is that something anyone's looked at? Like, I'm curious if that's going to happen.
Is it even possible to burn them at this stage? I don't think it is.
I don't think they have any value.
Okay.
I do believe that is the intention, though. So once you stake the DEC into the card, at that point
then you can burn it.
You will be able to burn it.
I see. Okay.
But I think it's only something that's activated once And I may be wrong about this. I may be wrong about this, but
Well,
that's my understanding of it.
I'm gonna go check that out right now.
I'm on my way to the card. I'm on my way to the card.
Making my way downtown, checking burn rates, passing soulbound, or no, passing
there's
chaos,
no
and I'm
option.
soulbound. There we go.
There's do not pass sign on the burn button.
Ooh,
I think you should really try to get that song produced, Rogue. I liked it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, it's just
in the
the
house.
fact that soulbound works so
Pyro
well.
5.
I need to get
So
with
good to
K,
see
or
you.
I need to get with Aftersound, and we need to produce this song. Something about
Let's go. I love it.
Making my way to Pretoria. Something.
I love it. I like it. Let's do
Collecting
it.
chests, and I'm soulbound. Let's go.
So for me, I think the
Make a
mistake
song.
that's been made here with the soulbound is, and it's not really directly linked to the soulbound. The soulbound isn't the issue in and of itself. It's just where it is, right? Where it's currently being given out or rewarded. I believe the soulbound card should be part of the battle pass section of the game. I believe the battle pass is there for newer players. Older players may partake, or they may not. And my reasoning is as follows, right? In our reward cards right now, or in our reward chests right now, we get soulbound reward cards, we get merits, 0 value, we get, and that could be argued. It could be argued that there is some monetary value attached to merits, right? Because you can turn them into cards, and you can burn those cards for DEC, right?
Well, and they make your soulbound summoner better too.
And that they do as well. So that's now an extra layer of perhaps value, right? And then there's potions, which arguably also has value, but in my mind, 0 value, because you're getting.
No, I love getting potions because I definitely don't have enough.
Yeah, me neither.
Right.
I love getting potions as well. It's one of my favorite.
That is straight up cash to me. I love potions.
Oh, Lorcus, are you aware of that change recently to potions? That like potions are actually being used on your chest now?
No, I didn't.
That's why I keep staying so low, because I think I keep getting more, and then because I'm opening chests, they're eating. Oh, I forget. Yes, that's true.
So they actually designed this really, really well. This is great. Like, when you use potions on a pack, you use 5 of each, no matter what, right? Like, you're opening a card, you use the potions. Now what you do is you can use potions on a chest, right? It's automatically clicked yes. So like if you haven't gone into your settings and deactivated that, then every time you pull a card in one of your chests, it will consume a legendary and an alchemy potion and try to increase the rarity percent or gold foil. Right?
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna keep that for sure. I like that idea.
Like the value on that is great because like
you're
pulling multiples.
I want straight gold foil for reward cards. So yeah, please.
No,
so you're burning potions. I want to save my potions for my packs.
Well, I need that too.
I think they're more value right now, because like also the other part about the legendary potion is it's not just legendary, it's it'll increase the odds of pulling epics as well.
I need to point out how much Ape is enjoying the close-up on your faces. He's just commenting on it.
So Ape, why don't you join us on the panel here, and then you can also be Mr. Close-up. How about
really close?
Or actually, that'll make us smaller. If you join us, it'll make us smaller. You won't feel so close up, because actually, I'm actually the same as always. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same.
All right.
You're crazy.
So
But
yeah,
I think it's really
keep in
interesting that you
mind,
can choose. That's cool that you can choose.
Virus
Yeah.
says there's a debate about what it will take to make these cards tradable or burnable. It might be more or less DC than the burn value and possibly a voucher.
Yeah, I disagree with vouchers. In my opinion, it's just a factor of DEC, and I would make it real simple of like just 2x the burn value.
Okay.
You know, so it's like 1,000 DEC to mint a legendary, 200 DEC to mint an epic, 40 DEC for a rare, and 10 for a common.
Okay.
And then your burn rates would just be normal. It'd be the 1,000 burn rate or the 500 burn rate for a legendary and 100 for an epic.
Which is what you want. You just want them to be equivalent to what the current burn rate is of other reward cards, right? So I think that's a fair value, which would also create the opportunity for those a minimum value to be created on the market, right? So if somebody puts it up for sale, they won't go less than that DC that they've already invested in, right? In my mind, I think people would be silly to, charge or put it up on the market for less than that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way that I think. Pat DEC equal to burn rate. What? That's terrible. It's a terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
Why?
Okay.
So, like,
why should you have to burn more or spend more than the burn rate? Why do you think that's important?
Just because, like, essentially the transfer, like, the minting would then be kind of free. Like, I'm very much looking forward to the idea that this is only deflationary.
Well, I think I don't like the idea of free because you have to go get them in chests. That's not free. Like, I'm literally spending potions to get better versions. How is that free?
I think there should be a
getting
charge.
A lot of potions.
Perhaps a burn of DC, right? That will disappear, right? And that is the charge. That is the fee.
Yeah.
At the same time, it creates deflation on DC. I like that idea way more.
I guess for me it's just I'm just not a fan of the idea that this process won't decrease our DEC. Maybe it's just because I'm very excited for this to be an awesome sink for DEC. Okay. But if at the end of the day it's like a net neutral,
well,
like if they're
net neutral is a huge win because they're locked unless it's burned. So like locking up is similar to making something less because it's less liquid.
It needs to remain staked there for the NFT to be tradable
you could destroy the NFT and get the DEC back. So you aren't decreasing the supply of DEC, but you are tying it to an asset that you'd have to destroy to get it back. Which has its own.
Maybe
I think it has its own pressure. I think it's going to force people to buy DEC, like for sure, even if it's just the same amount.
I guess one of the aspects that I am worried about, because we haven't talked about it and I don't know how it's going to look technically, but like right now they're going to be soulbound and I can freely combine soulbound cards and that's not an issue. But what happens when I now have a mix of some BCX is soulbound and some BCX is not? In order to combine with a non-soulbound, am I going to have to unlock my entire collection? Or after I've gone to the market and purchased, like, do I need to unsoulbound my cards so I can combine it with the rest of my soulbound cards? Like, there's that conversation that I'm actually really curious about. Like, what's a card, like, is a card soulbound if 300 of the BCX is soulbound and 100 of it isn't? Like, do those 100 come unsoulbound cards? Like,
one would have to be overriding the other, but how they do that exactly, I'm not sure.
So and I guess that's maybe one of the things that I view from the neutral aspect is that if I have to end up combining like amounts, I would probably default to. I am going to assume the majority of my collection is going to be soulbound, in that whatever I go to the market for would just be to finish maxing my copy. So I'm going to assume the majority of my collection will be soulbound. And I would, if I am given the option of like I have to combine like, then I would try to figure out how to get the non-soulbound cards back to soulbound, right? Unstake the DEC, as Aggie was pointing out, right? So then then we get to the weird point where like I'm buying a card and then I'm getting also DEC for that card because I'm going to make it soulbound again. I don't care. It's going to go and combine and it's going to be a part of my collection. I don't know. These are concepts. So $25 worth of DEC just to make a gold foil legendary tradable. I would say so. That's probably fine.
That is at pick.
Yeah.
At pick
I don't like that. I don't like the way that sounds at all, because that, to me, that's putting no value on the collection of the card, which is the whole value of drawing cards. Like, that's the whole reason that you use potions, to try to get higher value ones. And this is just saying that you have to spend more to make that tradable. And I just like that entire model. It's very anti-player and very pro burn a bunch of deck for no apparent reason. Like, that's the value should not be in how much you burn to make it tradable. It's in the rarity of the card.
So how about a percentage discount if you burn some vouchers?
Well, hold on.
Why not come up with something that's like not the full deck burn value just to make it tradable? Like, the card exists and it was printed, and I get that you want to have something tied to that, but the full deck value is insane in my opinion, because that's like having to pay for your cards twice. You both had to go get them in a reward chest, and then you had to pay for them in deck. So that's crazy.
But you don't have to pay for your own. Like, all the ones that you got, you don't have to pay for.
Sure.
You just have to buy the ones to get you to the max.
Or somebody would have to pay for those twice, because someone's going to have to pay for it to put it up there, and then you have to cover their cost of doing that to put it in your collection. And that is the card. That's the same thing of taxing capital gains. You're just like grabbing more money, and it doesn't make any sense in context of what's happening. Like, I get that you can burn more deck, but it's not good for players. That's not like how this is supposed to work.
Well, look, we are speculating at this stage. This is not officially how, but this is how I believe the intention is. Yeah. It's heading towards something like this.
Well, it's kind of interesting that
we need to push
back
hard on that. Is what I'm saying, because that's crazy talk. We should not allow them to tax us for getting a card and wanting to trade it in a game where you own the assets. That's silly talk. The whole point of making this soulbound was so that you couldn't have them spike at the beginning and then be worthless at the end. That it could be the market could kind of form and make it not so favorable for the way the game was being played before, and that's all good. But turning that also into a way to rake your players for more cash is not good.
Well, they're not raking us. Like, it's being burned. So, like, there is no... You're essentially creating a floor price, for the reward cards, right?
No, you're not. You're pumping up the value of deck, which is actually increasing. That's absolutely gaining value for Splinterlands. I can see why you don't want to look at it that way, but by causing something to burn more of a token that we own, that's like the basis of their economy. So forcing that cost on the players is a poor way of doing business.
But that's the whole direction that we're going. The DEC is a stable coin is completely driven by we need things to buy in game that burns deck. There should be enough demand. I'm sorry.
Don't make us pay. I totally agree, but you shouldn't make the deck value to make a card tradable. What I'm saying is that equal to its burn value is an insane number. I think that's absolutely ludicrous. Like 10%, maybe. But saying that we need a way to burn deck and then saying that's equivalent to like you need to make it as expensive or twice as expensive as the burn value is misunderstanding. It's misunderstanding like what we're trying to do here. Yes, we want to add utility for deck to have it hold the peg. That doesn't mean do it by like taxing anybody that wants to own and use a card that they got from this game. Like, that's a bad way of doing it.
So firstly, I agree, tax is bad. We should not be taxed. But
I'm
secondly,
having a hard time hearing this as a
I
tax.
think that if somebody pays 10% for something, and when they burn it, they get 100%, right? They're gonna arbitrage the shit out of that, and they're gonna burn all of these cards, which I suppose would be a good thing because it would create more scarcity of the card if people do that.
Sure.
So yeah, but at the same time, we're printing more DEC, right? Because when you burn, you're printing DEC. Is that my understanding?
Yeah.
So we're creating inflation on our token,
Which we don't want from the and I
inflation is
guess that's where, like, I guess maybe I would then I would ask,
If that's the
like,
case, then we should just buy these cards for DEC. Like having us go get them from reward chest and like have potions, and then having us pay for them at the end to make them usable to beyond our own deck is wrong. Like these are not reward cards if you have to pay for them in the end.
pray to
they're
win.
reward
I
cards
wonder
that you had to pay for at the very beginning for the whole course of this game. You haven't earned enough legendaries to be playing at the level you're playing at. You went and bought them.
Exactly.
It's the same concept that, like,
it isn't.
but you just don't like the price.
Like that's not it at all. I bought lots of cards at way higher than $25. That's just incorrect. What I'm saying is that this
really
mechanism is wrong. Like if you want to charge more for a card and you need to get more utility in your token, figure out an appropriate way to do it. This is not appropriate.
So I guess, do you believe that just at the very end these should all become tradable NFTs for nothing?
Absolutely. Well, I didn't say for nothing, but they should all become tradable NFTs. Like the whole point of this should have been that these can't trickle out into the community and that they're all focused on people that are actively engaged in the game, not just people that are buying them. That should be the purpose. Yeah. And if you turn it into more stuff at the same time, like you're kind of missing things.
But it was also like, I guess that the other thing is this was one of the like things to disincentivize bots and to incentivize real players, right?
But it doesn't.
How
does that? How does it do that?
I
would just like to hear your scenario of how that's true.
I believe all it's done is it's created bots to consolidate, or it's forced the bots to consolidate to the top, right? So they've gone to champion. They've sold their 10,000 accounts, and now they've created 1 or 2 accounts of their 10,000 that they had. They've consolidated all of those cards, or they're just renting cards.
Yeah, also, they're just really renting for the top right now.
And
is generally what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But like what that does is that essentially it does. It's done this to where like essentially our metrics are down for the most part.
I want to say hello this time. We have another guest here, but I'm not sure who I pray to win is. Who are you?
It's Ape.
It's Ape. Okay.
Yeah, Ape's pray to win.
Welcome. Are you there?
Yeah, I think that's really virus. That's what I was hoping to see out of this, is that bots are short-sighted, so making them hold on to them would really maintain the value. It's not a deck like that's it to me. That's weird. What that sounds like is every other garbage product out there that's trying to pump up their own coin by making people burn them. That's a garbage play. I don't like it.
Pumping up a coin by making people burn them. What's your definition of utility?
My definition of utility is something that I want for value, and deck using, and there's lots of things that they've started to do with deck to make that a reality, like making deck another currency, figuring out the right way to do it with Red Watchers cards. Makes a ton of sense. Like getting people to burn it for future value for deck batteries. I think that's an interesting way to get some of that stuff out of the economy and have less liquid. Trying to take something that's soulbound and then make it a real that NFT. Equation. Okay. I mean, that's an interesting choice of words.
Yeah. Like taking like a Web 2 product that they're essentially Like they're giving away just like every other Web 2 trading card game for the most part, right? Like
Yeah, that's essentially
earn
what
free
they've
cards and
done.
they don't have to care about the economy, right? They're just like, whatever, we'll just print as many and we'll give them away and it'll be great and it'll feel like endorphins, right? So like I guess
Well, I
this is
agree
one of
with
the
everything
things
you
that
just said. If you're launching cards without thinking about how many you're spewing into the economy, then sure, you may need a safety net like this. My view of Splinterlands so far is that has not been what they've done. They missed the target with the launch of Chaos Legion and Rift Watchers. They put too many out there. But the solution
Chaos
to that is to
Legion.
make more bad decisions, to make people do bad things with their own money. They go back to your fundamentals and figure out how many people you have and set your card print rates appropriately. This is just more reactionary thinking instead of actually, making good decisions, in my opinion. This is a bad decision.
Fair.
Well, it looks
fair.
like battles are actually back up. We only had
Hello,
about
hello.
4 days of low battles.
Hello. Hi. Are you live? Are you there? Mr. I Pray to Win.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So then, Lorcas, yeah, you're of the opinion that at the end of this, just make them NFTs, unlock them, and just let the market do whatever the market does.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's some cost you want to associate with it, that's something that should be discussed.
How
But
about a
having
voucher
a
cost? How about a voucher cost?
Man, vouchers just need to go away. They should just acknowledge that they messed up with vouchers. It's a useless token. Like they did something wrong there again.
Yeah, I mean they added value to SPS by making another token, and that was dumb. It was absolutely dumb. I think SPS will do absolutely just fine once we get to where we're burning SPS to mint DEC. I think it'll do
Token flywheel
fine
here.
at that point.
Shall we
But,
bring up the gift for the flywheel?
Yeah, go get
I think
Tails'
Lucas would
flywheel
appreciate.
gift.
I think Lucas would appreciate the gift for the flywheel. Have you
But
seen
yeah,
that
no,
gift?
I was actually this is hilarious that this is the very first time I've actually heard anybody be like this against the idea. Because like looking at I felt like this was pulled directly from like Gods Unchained. Gods Unchained did a really good job of creating a core set of free cards that you could play with. And in order to make them tradable, you had to combine them and use a currency that you earn in game, right?
Yeah.
Now they chose their token. It's called it was the Gods token,
Gods,
right?
yeah.
So you have to combine 2 light cards to get some Forgium or some God, which is, I don't know, it's maybe like 30 cents for them or on a common or something like that. And yeah, you combine them and that's how you make real
Yes.
tradable NFTs,
Yeah, that's the first time that I've heard someone try to say, "Wow, we should go copy Gods Unchained."
And that's where like because the Tails had brought it up like from an economy perspective, and I was like from that perspective, there's a lot of things that Gods Unchained does that I don't like, but that one,
like the entire gameplay, all of it. Like I
the
don't want
gameplay
to
is
take
actually
anything
like
from them.
super Web 2, but like
It takes
the
like an
most
hour
similar-
to play one match. Who has time?
It's very
every
slow.
Web 2 trading card game player does. Like that's like I don't know what like the traditional gamer usually logs, anywhere between 2 to 3 hours a night doing their game of choice, right? I don't have that time. I've got
I
kids
prefer
in the house, so that's why I love Splinterlands. But
Quick and dirty. Yeah, quick and dirty. That works for me.
that's interesting.
Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Hello.
What's going on,
yes. Ape? What's up? man?
Hello?
Have you got anything to add to our discussion? Are you with us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I was like listening in, breaking up here and there, but signal,
Okay.
But like that's what came to mind. You can unlock soulbound cards, Gods Unchained, because they did that, right?
Yeah.
But like it's a smart way of doing it because it's game in a slower sense, and then you're also it's kind of like a nerf on like giving out rewards, and it kind of helps during a bear market.
Yes, it's a tax on the player base. I hear you. I understand what they're doing and why. I disagree
It's a
with it.
tax
I'm
on
not
the
saying.
player base.
Well,
The
they're trying to increase their revenue by making
Yeah.
rewards nothing during a bear market. Because
They-
Splinterlands, like if their cards are worth nothing until you buy them back from them, they've made rewards worth nothing.
Till you buy them back from them.
Well, you're
Like outside
you're
of
not-
just Splinterlands
you're not
also
buying-
owning DEC and SPS, they're not going to make any money from this.
Incorrect. Because the deck value goes, they're no longer giving away value. They're giving away valueless pictures. There's no, like, the rewards had value before, and what you're arguing now is that they shouldn't unless you add value to them. So rewards are
here's
valueless.
the thing. The value,
That is a massive nerf and should be considered a tax on the player base.
But I'm still using them in game. Like I'm still doing fantastic with my picture, and they are earning me rewards in game. I'm still winning tournaments with them. My deck is more powerful with them. I am not nerfed, and I didn't pay a single cent for these. You know.
You did if you're
So,
using
like,
potions.
Yeah, and they are providing me with ample amounts of potions. I have more potions than I will ever use. Especially, I'm every daily chest, I'm still netting potions. Like, I'm never going negative on my potions, right?
I'm really happy that you're glad about this system, but I don't see how you can possibly tell me that making rewards valuable to not valuable is anything other than a bad thing for the game.
Yeah.
Valuable
Well,
to not.
That means that they're in a
What-
bad financial situation. Like if they have no money to pay us rewards for playing the game, then it's bad. This is bad. This is the first time where I've wanted to sell assets. Like that's what you're telling me is I should get out of this.
If you think
Well,
the
look
card
at-
that
look-
you're getting,
because you have to. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Abe.
Go ahead.
Like reward cards, right? Or any assets. Splinterlands doesn't really value of these cards. It's the player. That's why
Yeah.
it's like an open market. Because players decide how valuable a card is, whether CX or a max speed.
Are you literally
Yes.
mansplaining an open market to me right now? Like, come on. We're beyond that, I hope. Come on.
I mean, like
I-
I'm fully aware of what they're trying to do. I think I've said that multiple times. I see what they're trying to do, but they're doing it by ripping the reward system out of the game.
Yeah.
And
But like they've
That's-
already
that's
done
inherently
that. Like I guess
bad.
that's where you're almost talking about the soulbound aspect is like the problem.
And it kind of is for me, right? Because essentially, understand, right, that Soulbound is a Web 2 thing, right? It is something that is spawned directly out of Web 2 and their way of extracting value out of the customer, right? Getting
yeah,
them
and that's
play their
exactly
game.
what I have always been opposed to. Is if you're extracting value from your customers, you're doing it wrong. If they're giving you money because they like your product, that's right. I really like what Virus had to say, and that's maybe the white way. What I should have said, like I really like the way he phrased it. There, is that yeah, if you had to pay deck to unstake your SPL, this would be very similar.
Okay, so
because
you're viewing the
it's hard.
soulbound as like a long-term staking contract, and just by participating in the time, like you think once that's over, then like that was enough, right? That's you should have your card fully tradable.
It's the way to keep the market from being flooded at the beginning by bots. So yeah, I think that was the appropriate play.
And again,
It's not that there shouldn't be any value associated with this, but like they really need to think about what we're talking about here. We're talking about It's a massive change in the way that rewards are paid out and what the rewards are for playing this game. That's very, very big in a play to earn game, because that's not play to earn anymore.
The issue is we keep doing
Yeah.
band-aid stuff to fix the bots, and the people who are feeling the pain for all the band-aid fix is the people that are ultimately supporting this game. And I don't think that's good. I don't think that's a good thing. We need to rather address the problem directly instead of trying to address the problem through, band-aid measures that are not functioning.
Okay. What if none of these reward cards had a burn value? Is that fine? I'm trying to figure out where the line's drawn here.
Yeah, maybe that's actually a good way to do it. But the problem with that is that
just no burn value.
I guess the problem with no burn
stuff.
value is you don't get as much decrease of the actual cards. Like, we kind of like dumb people burning cards because that means there's less of them.
But that's so small
there's no value,
compared to the actual combination of cards, right?
Absolutely true. So if they stayed at no burn value, that actually might satisfy this, make them tradable, sellable, and then you're back to Ape's free market discussion.
Yeah.
But tossing burn value in there is a tax, in my opinion, and that's rough.
Well, I think having I guess I'm fine. One, DEC, I don't know. It's interesting what you are standing on and what you're accepting. Like potions, I guess themselves, I view potions as more of a tax.
Yeah, that's a tax to me as well.
Than
100%.
Than unlocking my reward card to make it tradable. I think
but it's a value added tax where it's really hard to tell me that the value add is to add the deck value so that I can go trade it. That's a painful thing to tell me as a value add. When you tell me I can pay a fraction of the price of a pack and increase its odds drastically, that's a really good tax. Of course it's a tax, but that's a tax that goes to actually fund this game in a reasonable way. I also don't complain about the 5% tax on sales over the market, because that's an excellent way to make sure that there's plenty of funding for the game and to make sure that there's third-party tools that are written that can take advantage of that tax. Taxes are good. Making taxes on something stupid like this, like taxing the hell out of reward cards being valuable, is a really rough way to make a statement in this market. I don't like it.
You should do a proposal.
No, thank you.
Totes their journey. What's Tails saying here? For a company that totes their journey to Web3 through decentralization, there sure are lots of traditional Web 2 things being added to the game.
100% agree. That's the thing I'm seeing right now is some of the Web3 games that are surviving is they think that they need to survive by being Web 2. And I hope they get punished real hard. I love Splinterlands. I have a significant amount of value in the game, but they should be punished for these Web 2 decisions. We did not join a Web 2 game. We did not support a Web 2 company. Seriously, guys, wake the hell up.
But I guess for me, for Web3, the play to earn has never made any sense to me. That's not fair. There's no way it's play to earn. Somebody is always paying into it. You're just extracting somebody else's money. Always. Yes, that's the way that it works.
Absolutely.
So play to earn as the Web3, in my opinion, is bullshit, and we need to get off of it. Right?
Why? Why is that bullshit?
Well, because play to earn is bullshit. It's
not. Everything you said is absolutely true, but that doesn't mean play to earn is bullshit. We should discuss this in detail.
How is that not? That is just literally people taking advantage of other people buying tops.
No, it's not. Not. This is the exact same thing as when people buy a game. When you go buy Diablo 3 from Blizzard or whatever, you buy a game and all that money goes to Blizzard and literally none of it goes to the people that you play against. The difference is when you buy stuff in this game, part of it goes to Blizzard, and part of it goes to the people that you play against. And yes, as you buy more, you may actually not make a profit, but you're actually paying to play a game that you want to play, just like you would with Diablo. The difference is the profit goes to the people that also own assets and they're playing against you and might be making more in this particular trade because they made a better economic decision, or more because they play better. But it's not like there's not a new dynamic here other than the profit is also owned by the shareholders, which in this case is not shareholders of a company, it's shareholders in a game like Splinterlands. We own assets and we can earn on them. That is play to earn. The fact that you are getting some of that value from someone else entering the system, maybe that's Ponzi in some ways, but as long as you have a floor on this and you're and you know what you're doing, like it's not, this is play to earn. Like you own these assets, you can play them to earn. I don't know why that's not true.
You can play them to earn because the ecosystem is being supported by the players. I don't think the ecosystem is, so I guess this is where the
system's always supported by the players, Rogue. That's who pays all the bills in gaming.
The play to earn aspect is more of like a profit sharing. Like it's like we buy stuff from Splinterlands, and because we bought stuff from Splinterlands, we're also funding our reward pool. But like this is literally the first time I've heard this.
That's how it works.
That's
what
how it works.
How is it not?
They just minted free stuff. Like they poofed a currency into existence, and that's what we're being rewarded with. What did they pay for the 2 or 3 billion SPS that they're minting over the list? It's not, there's not a certain percentage of the Chaos Legion pack sale that is going to SPS. There's just, we're part of an ecosystem that is trying to balance itself. Like it's not, there's nothing that we're buying from Splinterlands is like a percentage of that going into the SPS DAO.
No, that is absolutely true. There's multiple economies, and trying to simplify it and saying that buying one thing isn't funding the other is also not true. Like these things are interacting in ways that their prices are absolutely tied together. Buying from one thing does change something else because there's finite amounts of these tokens. It's a very simplified view to say that the money that's going into this isn't funding our rewards, because sure, there's all sorts of inflation and changes of tokens, but that absolutely 100% where every single bit of monetary value in this entire ecosystem comes from the players. Like it has to, and all of the content comes from Splinterlands. That's the exact same business model as every other gaming company in the history of gaming, that the person making the game owns the content and the people buying it add value. We can go back to that free market discussion. Like that's how it works on pricing of video games. That's how this is all based on people buying something they find value in, and that drives the entire economy. Whether people are buying a card, buying deck, burning SPS, like this is all that.
Like there is no, like you're saying that the Soulbound reward cards took away that value, that putting DEC into it took away that value. That value is still there. If there's still a player that wants that card, the value is still there. Nothing has changed from that perspective. So that's what I mean. It's like you're saying that Splinterlands is now giving away something that isn't valuable. Like, and that's where, like, I don't understand. It's still
Rogue, let's make this real simple. Reward cards 2 weeks ago, when I got it, it has a value. It has a deck burn value.
It has a dollar value.
It's sure, that too. Now, rewards after that absolutely do not, because you're telling me that I have to go put another value into them before they are something that I can use like I use the other cards. So I don't understand how you don't see that this is a huge difference. Reward cards were tradable and valuable before. Now they're not tradable and not valuable. So there's a very big difference there. Like the fact that you can play with them is just saying that they took a Web 2 feature.
It's the only reason why you buy the cards.
No,
it's to play
incorrect.
The game.
Wrong. Incorrect. That's not why I have 6,000 packs sitting here to open. That's not why I have multiple copies of cards. It's not just to play the game. You were wrong. Incorrect. Provably false.
I mean, it's the game.
So you think that people bought their region so that they can play this game? You're just incorrect. Like a play to earn system is a whole lot more than just this card game. Like there's a whole lot more to it. People buy stuff for way, way more than just to play this game. Like,
Yeah.
people are
So, I mean,
literally
we've
buying
definitely
these
gotten
cards
off
to
track a
play
little
their
bit.
4GM. Like, there's so many things that go into this. But anyway, I would like to once again make sure that we are acknowledging the point that reward cards are very, very different now. And if you have to pay more to use them, that's
You
different.
don't
If you want to
pay
call
to
that a
use them.
tax,
They are
or,
free to use.
you can say what you want, but the fact that you have to put deck into them, if I want to use them like a reward card in the past, is very different. I get that you only have one copy
You're
of every
using
card. I hear you.
uses
I hear you.
City.
But that's not what the rest of us do. So it's a huge difference. You should go look at my reward cards. I have tons of them because I buy them up to have lots of them. And I just am not going to be able to do that because there's a massive tax on getting reward cards coming up. Like, I don't like it. It's a huge change to the game that's costing people that want to buy cards something real.
There's the ape. Hello. We can see you.
What's going on, Ape? I like this background.
Yeah, it's the first time I got into Champ. Like, this was like months back.
Yeah, it was. I remember that.
What you guys
I
think about
remember.
what you guys thinking about vouchers though?
Lorca's saying it's the worst idea ever. It shouldn't be in the game.
I mean,
just
in my
burned
mind,
they get deck batteries.
I
It-
mean, I thought that
that's the other thing. that you're
vouchers
for deck batteries.
shouldn't be used to buy DCB. Like, I actually brought it up in math chat, and I just think it's completely like
Yeah, that shouldn't be possible.
stupid. Because like if you're thinking about it, like, it actually does not solve
Inflation.
curbing the inflation of DEC. If anything,
Creates more.
it's prolonging it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
doesn't mean
no,
that
they're
I
trying
didn't
to
get
add
all the
value to a
vouchers to it.
token.
Inflation back.
Because like, yes, you're burning vouchers, right? But you would rather burn DEC, and if you just swap DEC into vouchers, you actually get a little bit more value in DECB. So like, the DEC is still on the market because you swapped it for vouchers to buy DECB to get a little bit more value, rather than if you use DEC to get DECB. Like, it's actually, I don't know, it's actually bizarre.
The one good thing is it makes it less liquid. So there's less liquid stuff for now because there's no way to spend deck B. But
That part is good, and also the fact that it's soul bound, right? The fact that they can't sell it on the market. I think that
Right.
those two are very, very key, important parts. Just
Yeah,
to follow
I think
up
that-
on our previous discussion, sorry guys, I just want to
No, you're
comment
fine.
here on
No, it's
Tails'
perfect.
comment. The value being put into soul-bound reward cards will be optional. It is not a requirement to use them or benefit from them, but fundamentally they are no longer part of the play-to-earn aspect of the game. And I like that as a closing thought. I think that
yeah, I think
that
that's
kind of
perfectly
nails it on the
stated.
head.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tails, for that. Next comment here from Virus. DCB vouchers is a way to make up for their mistake of overprinting them.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure that's why they did it. I mean, there's an unusable amount of vouchers in the universe, and they needed to make them go away.
I mean,
Yeah, at
vouchers.
the end of the day, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Abe.
I mean, vouchers was supposed to be like a gateway to, access, like, special promos or whatever. It serves as a discount, like a discount voucher, if anything. And it makes no sense to me. Like, you just creating a bunch of secondary game tokens and, like, giving them utility when you could just, focus on giving SPS or DEC more utility so they could actually go up in price, because with more utility, like, people is bound to use them and buy them, and then there's demand. But if you're
Yeah.
spreading everything out so thin, there's only gonna be so much demand and so much market for it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely correct. You nailed it, Abe. Like,
I remember.
there needs to be an absolute use for each of the new tokens you came up with,
Yeah.
and they did
Yes.
not think through vouchers very well.
No,
Yeah.
but I when they did, it made more sense. It made more sense because like, and this is I've bitched about it on our stream before. We've switched when they minted SPS and started the airdrops. The narrative was you will not have enough. You want to hold these. You want the governance. You want the voting and blah blah blah. And you wanted to stake and hold SPS. Stake and hold SPS. Today, we have to spend SPS because that is the only thing that we're actually earning in game anymore. So to progress our accounts and to continue growing outside of adding fiat, we have to spend SPS. So that's been turned on its head. If that didn't happen, that's what vouchers were supposed to be. Vouchers were supposed to be the spending token for staking SPS. Like, so that way you were comfortable having a lot of staked SPS because its value was being given to you in vouchers. But they never built enough to spend vouchers on, right?
It was just massively overprinted, so it could never do that. And then it really did fall into the issue that you're burning the wrong token. You absolutely have a great memory. Like that was what you were supposed to be doing, is never doing anything at the SPS other than holding it and accumulating it. And we are very far from that these days.
Yeah.
You were much better off if you spent the hell out of it a year ago.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
They were selling for a fortune. If you took profits, then you did great. You did great.
I sold some at 80 cents, but I should have sold a lot more.
They were selling for $20 or something like that? No,
I don't know. I never saw them that high. Vouchers? No, I meant the SPS. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the SPS. Yeah, that was at the time that was like $5, or that was a $1.80 SPS when we had $20 vouchers. But no, and it's funny. Today they launched GLGT, or they didn't launch it. Like, you've been earning.
GLUSD.
Yeah, no, GLGT, the game time.
GLUSD today, right?
Correct, but they also made GLGT tradable today.
Right.
Before today, you were just getting it as a staking reward, but you had no ability to transfer or to sell the voucher equivalent of the Genesis League ecosystem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm positive that thing's down to 5 cents, right? It is just already a useless coin because the same mistake was made. The only utility for the token right now is to get $5 off a pack, and just a month ago the pack was only $5 and we didn't sell out of all of them,
right?
And so now they said the pack is now worth $10, but if you use a GLGT it'll be $5. There's nobody new that's like, ooh, that's a deal. Everybody's like, yeah, no, I could have bought more like a month ago and I didn't want to. I'm not going to now. So the voucher in Genesis has absolutely, so like, without a game, without an ecosystem, without anything, the reward token for staking GLX is also tanked. Like, entirely.
I get that they had to make it tradable before they really pushed out the next phase, but it just, I know that they've got some tough timelines.
It's back up.
It's truly tough timelines because they picked a garbage league. Like, they're off season right now when literally everybody else is having the peak of their season. So it's confusing. I get it. It's confusing.
Oh, he mad.
Like, they still don't even know who's on each team yet. So it's really impossible to make packs. I get that. But their timeline is really hard. And I really feel like they first messed up by MLS. It's rough. Like, the league is tough. Like, there's a lot of strategic problems to it. But on top of that, like, trying to hit this timeline when the teams don't even have rosters is tough. Like, you can't advertise packs because you can't tell people what is in them. It's a really tough position to be in. Well, they
Yeah,
can't
they
because
don't
the
know what
teams
to
don't
do.
know who's on. They don't know who their players are. The rosters aren't locked for another week or a few more days. Not quite a week. But
Nope.
once the rosters are locked, they can actually discuss what's in the packs. But
Right.
until then, like you can't do it. You can do lots of like preparation, but you can't finalize anything.
Yep. Yeah, so watching that kind of Ape, you're muted. I see you moving.
You got to unmute yourself.
Nope.
Can't hear you.
Do it again.
Something's broken. Have you tried switching it on and off again, sir?
Did you pray? Yeah, Lorcas and his motorcycle gang.
Oh, right, is that the gang, Lorcas?
Yeah.
Well, it's time for me to go riding with the gang.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Fired up now.
wasn't
called
going
the
to
boy.
tell you, but since they're
He's
here
like-
already, as you can tell.
He's like, we started talking about taxes. Taxes. I need to ride.
Oh, I don't. I do. I like the sales tax. Like I think that is a really good way to fund stuff. Like it's one of the things I really liked about the way Splinterlands set up their market. I thought that was pretty brilliant. But yeah, reward cards make me sad now. Although I do really like the reward cards. They're fun. I've been
And this is
enjoying
the
it. I got
other
my first
aspect, like-
one yesterday.
Having it's weird, right? Because like the print run on these, we had there was an article that was posted on Peak D, and they did the math, and it really is. It's going to take a year plus to max out all the reward cards, even for champion players.
Yeah.
And so like I'm
We see
really
you, Ape.
excited about that from that perspective. But Ape mad.
Yeah,
Hey,
something
man.
broke. Something broke. He'll need to.
Well, he said his driver crashed into something. So either he was in a car and the driver had a problem, or there's some issue with his computer. I'm
I
guessing.
think the computer driver somewhere.
Black
But
screen. Oh, he's got a black screen. He can't even see that we see him.
No.
well, he did say after that, I see myself, lol. So I'm not sure exactly.
I heard Ape mad before restarting
Oh.
my computer.
Yeah, his computer is frozen now. So we've got
Yep.
half
Okay,
his
so he's restarting.
Ape in profile.
But yeah, I think, and that was also one of like that was the first thing that I know, especially Tails. Like him and I talked about it. Like, and I had the same feeling when I was pulling multiples, and like I was getting X amount in a chest. I was like, oh no, this is going to be way more inflated than even the reward cards were from Chaos. Like, there's no flipping way it's not. I'm pulling so many in a chest. These are going to be even like, so like that was the other aspect in my mind of like having them at the very end be like you had to participate in the ecosystem to sell. Right, that was kind of like one of the things that I was excited about. But you know, the more that I'm thinking about it, I can hear your point, Lorcas. I can hear your point.
Well, I think in order to not make it completely deflationary, there probably needs to be somewhere in between what I would like and what you would like. Like there needs to be some sort of cost to go in. I don't know what that looks like exactly, but I don't like it being the full deck burn.
So-
Somewhere in between you and me is Wyoming. There's not a lot in Wyoming.
Yeah, but there's a lot of space there to come up with, with things between us.
Yeah,
Amen.
between you and me.
Bumping cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, so Abe's saying that he had no intention of playing GLX, just flipping assets from it.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
would
mean,
like
buying GLX. I'm buying DEC. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would
for
like to
me,
play it.
I don't
I'm
have.
excited about a mobile first game like this. I think it might be really fun. I don't know. I could really hate it, but I might like it.
I think from the fantasy aspect, I'm actually really looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
But for me, the quantities aren't really enough for me to be like, should I leave this amount of money over there? Because like right now, I'm sitting on about 9,000 GLX staked. The APR is still doing great, and so I'm just like let it go.
Sorry. I'm laughing about what just got up there. Absolutely, man. I am so pumped. I can't wait to buy 10,000 GLG nodes.
Really? Okay.
Not at
What?
I think that's
Not even-
sarcastic. I think that's sarcastic, but
not even remotely excited.
not even remotely excited.
If they
Yeah,
could just pump out some more GLGT at me for buying a bunch of nodes at an overinflated price, like I would really like that. That'd be sweet.
so
Yeah.
I don't think we need more nodes, right? The SPL nodes are able to do whatever the GLG nodes can do, right? So
Just need the code.
I would think so. Like I guess I
why do
don't
we need more
know
nodes?
specifically why they might need a different chain, but I hope they're thinking about that because they
Makes
have
no
not
sense.
nearly sold out of their nodes. So just adding pressure to it by getting other games to hop on it would potentially help.
They're just diluting everything. Stop diluting stuff, man. Stop diluting stuff. It's as simple as that.
Damour, once the printer's on, it's hard to shut the printer off.
Guys, I thought the lesson of crypto is to stop freaking printing shit, right?
Is that the lesson of crypto?
If we fundamentally don't learn that, well, with Bitcoin it is. And I realize that with other coins that may not be the case, right? And with many of them, yes, that fundamentally is a failure. They are just doing what fiat has done always.
I mean, my thing,
even
my
if
thing
they
with
haven't
crypto
directly
has
printed, their supply is too high.
Yeah.
my thing with crypto has always just been have value on whatever you're buying, you know, and that's why I love Splinterlands. That's why I love the cards. I do not mind buying cards because they have value, and they have value because there is a game that I love to play, and there are other people that agree because, like, at the end of the day, and this is where maybe I'm going to have a conversation with Lorcus, because I look at the normal like NFT market and I think that's a joke, because I don't know if there's not like real utility. There's no like real like reason to buy those cards, right? So like Lorcus buying all the reward cards and participating in the ecosystem like that is dependent on people like me who want to play with those cards to buy them from him later. I highly doubt there's going to be a world where it's just like Lorcus and friends are just trading Pellicore bandits amongst themselves all the way up to the moon.
Which does also happen, right? There is a part of markets where that is the case, right?
And that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. That's just whale games, and I'm not a whale. Like, I don't know how that works.
So I want reward cards because I want to support new players. So that's mostly what I'm planning to do with my decks is combine them up to levels that make sense to have other people play with them. Reward cards I felt like were very important because they spike in value once they're no longer printed. So making sure I had what I felt like was enough for the number of players that I'm hoping to support once I open my Chaos Legion packs was important to me. We should come up with a bunch of common reward trades before I dump back in to do it.
I will give you 400 Heatsmiths if you give me 400 Pellicore Conjurers. I think that sounds like a very, very good trade.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like there's some legitimacy to this because in my chest, I feel like I was very heavily weighted in Vampire Bats and Murd Hamfiers. I just always open those, and like looking back on what I have, I now have way more of those than any of the others.
So the ability to trade them is important. Well, it's because it's random. That's why. And they didn't let that set play out. They killed it right at the beginning. Like, how far were we into Murd Ampier's print rate? Like 30%? How far were we into Jared's Scar? Like 15%? Like, it's not surprising that you have a totally skewed amount of cards. Like, it's totally reasonable. They killed that reward set in a bad way.
I agree.
Maybe it had to, because there's too many of them. Like, I don't disagree that something needed to change. I think that it was good to kill it. I don't know. Hopefully they make good choices on this set.
Well, I mean,
But so far,
fundamentally yeah, I mean, everything set up from the printer perspective is worse than the ones we just came out of, because now we've got multiples. They've introduced potions, which will even make it worse. More gold foils, more legendaries, more epics, and they've said that it's going to go on for like a year or so or more.
2 years, 2 years, 1 year to 2 years. That's a big range.
I think we were on O'Shaughnessy, we were a year and a half. I mean, when I started in August, O'Shaughnessy was a reward card. August of 2021. So
I think that's roughly
been a
when
year and
Last
a half.
Dragon bought it for $40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Painful.
Boy, mad.
I
No, so like a year and a half of that print run to get to those quantities. I wonder if Splinter Cards has the print runs on these yet. Because they weren't in it.
They weren't displaying a little while ago, but let's have a look. Rewards.
Yeah, they're not even showing. They're not showing even on the card list. Oh, here we go. Reward Soulbound. It's actually its own section.
Okay.
On cards.
I see it now.
There it is.
There is print rate
distribution. Oh, there it is. Let's go.
There's no percentage yet though, because I don't think it's known.
No, but we're not even one season in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So commons is
not
sitting
even
at 77,000, right? As opposed to reward cards, commons. So Pelican Mercenary was 8 million in the end.
Yeah.
So how much is that of the 8 million after one season?
1%?
1%?
It's 1%?
So is that a good indication that we're okay?
Oh no, it just means we're kind
an
of
indication that it's way too fast.
I would say we're on pace because we haven't even had season end at this point.
Yeah.
Season end would suggest that we are
season end should be skewed more to the upper end because people will be in higher leagues by the end of season. So my assumption is
more cards.
But you should see higher gold foil rates and higher legendary drop rates from higher leagues.
Yeah, so the way that I would like to do this math, and I think the numbers that I'll be this season's a little rough too because it's a short season. I don't know why. We only started season. Yeah, we started with like 12 or 13 days.
It was a lower count season.
Because I think they do a really good job of making sure it's 2 a month, no matter what the calendar month is.
That's kind of
because I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get like for some reason this is a 12-month or a 12-day season,
because
and the last ones we were having were 15.
February is a short month. It's not a long month.
But 28 should still be divisible by 2 into 14, right?
Right. That's what I would think.
Right. It makes sense. So I'm not sure.
I don't know. My math isn't what it used to be, but I think
I don't really have the answer to that one. Why?
But yeah, realistically, we have 24 seasons a year, essentially. So like that's where I try to get an idea. If we on those commons,
I think I know why.
I'm sorry.
I think I know why. Valentine's Day is the 14th, and they were not going to have people ready to like do whatever needed to happen. I bet they tried to avoid Valentine's Day, so they
okay, all right,
shorten it up.
I bet it's right in the middle of the month. I bet that they tweaked it to make sure that they had people on hand and give people time off.
Maybe.
Understood.
Maybe.
I mean, if they have a good program manager, they should definitely be looking at those things so that people aren't overworked.
So yeah, are we halfway through the season? Would we say that?
Not quite. I think we have 8 days. Let me go check. I don't remember. We have 5 days left, so we're more than halfway through.
Yeah. So I would say potentially after this first season, we're going to be like 2 to 2.5%.
So we should revisit these
that we had
next week and see what we're doing. We should revisit these numbers next week and see where we are at the season end.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm.
100%. Because yeah, I mean, if it's 2%, right, we would need 50 seasons to to equate the last print run of commons from
2 years.
yeah, which is 2 years. So then what changed? Like, did we just hit it? Did we hit the reward cards so hard in the bull run that like we had, because like it didn't take 2 years to get to that point.
How many accounts are playing now? And like, what's the
It
print
was-
rate for the lower leagues? Because the lower leagues used to get more cards, but
The bots were printing machines, and they were printing too much. That is essentially the issue, right? The bots are the issue.
Yeah, so it looks like accounts today, active players just shy of 200K.
Abe, you should just be happy with your luck because I've gotten 1 gold foil so far with
I
my
also-
diamond champ chest. So I think you're just lucky at the moment. Be happy with that.
I
Don't
also
nerf.
managed to pull 3 gold foils the other day.
I hate you both. I hate you both.
Okay,
Just
okay.
throw it
All
out
right.
there.
I've pulled 1 legendary so far, and it was the dragon weapons training one. So I haven't been able to play it yet because it's
Okay.
only a level 1, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's fun to like watch them accumulate and try to combine them. That's my joy right now.
I'm combining them
It is.
immediately. I'm combining them immediately. I see no reason not to combine.
Except
I'm
for
only
the gold
combining
foil.
once I can get to the next level. Well, I'm certainly going to combine those two. I fully intend to have a gold foil reward deck.
Ah,
Reward cards are
Yeah.
just played so often, and it's so nice for reward shares.
Mhm.
I really like having gold foil reward cards.
Yeah.
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I agree. That 70%
Reward cards in
bonus,
the
you can
past
have a
were
full
so powerful.
gold set, 70% reward points, extra reward points is a lot of extra points. That's a lot.
And the reward cards have just historically been very powerful. Like they're
They
used a lot. So
I find I can't wait for the new set stuff to come live, because I really feel disadvantaged in tournaments when I can't play with my reward cards. I miss my reward cards. I rely on my reward cards, and when I don't have them, I lose battles.
These new changes. We should talk
Yeah,
about that
that's
too.
updated.
New changes to the leagues is so good. Like that's exactly what it needed to happen. I
Yeah.
don't know why it took this long. I'm sure there's technical
It was the
reasons.
set
Probably
issue.
fired the
They-
person that was solving it and then had to start over.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. I'm not really sure. It just took longer. It took a long time. But now we're
Yeah, but
here.
at least that's finally fixed, and it fixes it in a bunch of ways because you can no longer use the wrong reward card in the set when reward cards are allowed. So I think that's a much better fix.
Yeah.
Like getting to
Yeah, I
use
agree.
cube all the time when reward is available, no matter which set is not right.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I mean, I hate fighting against those old cards and seeing a cube come against me. It's like, no, man, no. Just go away. go play in your wild corner and just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
I know. There's just sometimes when nothing replaces a cube. If you have a cube, you just win.
Yeah, sure. and that's usually the case for the guy that owns the cube, but there's not many of us that do. That's the issue.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It should be out of there. Doesn't mean I haven't exploited it from time to time.
So one of the
Sure.
strategies
If
I
I owned
was
the cube,
thinking
I would have
about.
exploited it as well. The shit out of it. I would have been winning tournaments left, right, and center.
Right. One of
What
the
was that?
strategies I was thinking about is like, as a player who doesn't really care so much about the gold foils, there's actually no setting right now to allow me to turn off that specific potion
Mm.
and only use the legendary potion.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
like every
Long-term, it's a
time
lot of
I
value in selling it though, right? So would you want to turn it off if you could?
that's the question, right? So like
Well,
right
I am-
now, like if I flip over a card and it turns gold, then I'm further delaying my ability to upgrade the regular foil one, right? Like I've just gotten some gold foils now. So like realistically, I'll be collecting these cards that I can't use for a while unless I just get lucky and pull the gold foils first.
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll be able to like upgrade that. But like the odds of that are pretty slim. So I'm
Well, I got
probably
one gold
going.
foil that was instantly a level 3, so it's ahead of my regular.
Yeah, right. Like yeah. So for bronze, yeah.
Not like I'm going to use a lot of those cards in diamond, but it's there.
Yep.
Yeah, I get
so
your point, but I think I guess that is the question. Would you want to hold it long term for its obviously increased value when it's tradable if you wanted to, or would you prefer to get regular foil pulls? What would you do?
yeah. They don't have that option right now, but I think I would still run the potions because I think long term, like that would be a short term view. And realistically, once they become tradable, right, I should be able to max it out easier if I have some gold foils that I can liquidate. So
Yeah, trade to the top.
I am actually choosing to switch off the potions for my reward chests. And the reason I'm doing it is
What?
I have just under 500 packs that I want to open, and I'm trying to save up potions to open the packs. And if my potions keep increasing by every reward chest I open, I can't get to the number that I want to get to quicker to open the packs, right? So no.
all
no.
right, you can see that.
I want my packs open first, and then
Just burn some SPS for the sweet potion deck.
burn the SPS.
Let's
I
go.
want the SPS as well. I don't want to spend it. I don't want to spend it either. I want to spend nothing and get stuff, okay?
Doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody? Hey,
Yeah,
so
I got a
real
pile of
quick,
potions going, but it's not enough.
to all of the YGGers, make sure that you guys are participating in the voting right now with your YGG SPL tokens. Vote for your guild. Make sure your guild has enough tokens to be a qualified guild going into next season. If you have any questions about that, please reach out in the Discord. The snapshot currently has it expires on the 12th at 3 p.m. my time. So that's Sunday.
Just over 2.5
Sunday at
days.
3 p.m.
Right?
So
3.5
make sure you're getting in there. All of you that participated in the gap season last season, you have tokens. Not like you knew it or not, you do. So make sure you go vote. All right.
And
Yeah,
make
you
sure
don't
you
have to
claim
claim
those tokens
YGG.
as well.
No. You do not have to claim YGG SPL. It was airdropped. YGG, you
The
need
YGG tokens, yes, exactly.
Yes.
If you don't claim them, you will lose them, right? If gap
Yes.
season C starts and you haven't claimed, you will lose those tokens. So don't lose
Oh,
out,
yeah.
guys.
So
And that gap
yelpkins.io
season
can get your
starts-
tokens.
Starts on Tuesday.
Yes.
So 6 days. Make sure you got that bank account cleared out.
So, and if you don't know where to go, it's the YGG website, right? I can link it here for you, right? So I'll
Yep.
link it here in the chat so that you guys can see it. Okay, so there's the website. Just go there and claim your tokens. Link your wallet, claim your tokens, and you're good to go. Even if it's only 15 is worth something.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll send you some Matic if you need, Abe. Just message me.
There's an offer to get you some Matic.
I
Speak to
will
Lord.
trade you 10
Speak-
deck worth of Matic so that you can claim.
Speak to Lorcas in Discord.
It's like 10 DEC worth of Matic that you need. I will hook you up.
Yeah, it's very little, very little. This is the beauty about not using Ethereum. I love it. The sad part is when you need to get it onto Ethereum to sell it. That's the part that makes you cry again, because we're back on the Ethereum network. Oh my word. Painful, painful, painful.
Rogue, did we
Yeah.
get through everything you wanted to talk about? What did you have any other hot topics this week?
Not really. I think
No,
we've been enough hard deleted today. I think
Yeah, that
let's
was
keep
definitely not what I was expecting to talk about at
You
all.
didn't
I
expect
feel
me
like
to
that
rant
was
about soulbound
well, that was
reward cards.
hilarious because like we talked about that forever ago. That's what I mean. Like this has been just a like this is an old topic that
Yeah.
I thought everybody was settled on, and you were like, "They did what?"
Yeah,
No!
it's a bad idea.
I
I mean,
love
I'm not.
it.
Very little surprises me at this point. I guess. I guess what surprises me is that Splinterlands wants to do it too. But yeah, I've seen it in other endeavors, so I guess it's a thing.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, brother. But no, I think generally that was our conversations tonight was just really whatever we were kind of feeling, and this is what we were feeling. But yeah, I think Virus did a really good job of kind of putting some perspective on that too, comparing it to like if you had to burn DEC to unstake your SPS. That would be weird.
That would not be cool.
There'd be some pushback, and I'm just saying maybe we should push back.
That'd be weird. So yeah, I think it's definitely I have something to think about on generally maybe how I want to go about this, advocating for this. So
Do you want to trade me
pretty-
some GLGT for some soulbound cards?
Oh, I flipping would in a heartbeat if you could trade me your soulbound. Like if I could get like my stuff leveled up right now, I'd get rid of that voucher. Screw that voucher.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, the Genesis side, I'm just literally letting it sit. I'm letting it sit. There's nothing, no advertising, no game, no nothing yet. So there's no reason to even move. Whatever you're giving me for free, I will take for free. Build whatever you're gonna build. We'll see where it goes.
Are you using like the auto staking or anything?
Yep. Yeah. Well, Splex is great. Like
Yeah.
Splex is awesome. So yeah, I've got that set up, and it's
Gene.
yep, set it and forget it. If I could figure out if Splex could like get me like auto looting on Warsaken and running the millionaire mission every day on Rising Star, I'd be a happy boy. Because those are still the things I just have to log in and do every day that I'm just like,
Man, I honestly forgot I had a Rising Star account. I haven't played in like 4 months. That's
I
probably
don't do that. I focus my attention on very specific games. I don't do the login thing and do one thing. I don't do that type of thing anymore.
yeah, Ape. I saw you on Twitter. You said you what was that thing you shared about? Now you're a proud owner of something. It gets you like 200 or 20k loot every day or something along those lines. Sometimes I forget to claim and it's like 30k. Yeah, I mean, that's quite a bit. I think mine's only like 100 or so. I don't remember. I pulled a 10. Oh, nice. I still don't know what that means. I
Okay,
stopped
so that
following
means-
Warsaken. That was definitely something that I parked money in for no flipping reason. Thanks, Bulldog.
Oh,
Yeah, Jack.
okay. No,
Bulldog did a video and he was just like, look at it. And honestly, it was cool. They made it like a soundtrack. Like they
Yeah.
owned like a CD, like about an hour or so worth of like custom music, right? And so I was very impressed by that. The visuals was great, but like, yeah, they didn't have a game yet. Well, they had a physical trading card game, but they didn't have anything on the blockchain yet. And so, yeah.
Okay.
Oh well. We'll see if that moons. It'll be pretty nice on the next bull run. Like I've got like little things, places that I've just like parked and stopped looking at ever. I'm just gonna have to go back on the next bull and kind of like swoop them in. Just be like, I got like 6 or 7 gold foil cards on Skyweaver.
Oh, okay.
I've got
Can you sell those for
$150.
anything? Are they
Huh?
sellable? Are they
Yeah, right
sellable?
now they're like it's like $30. But like
Oh,
the messed up thing is when I earned those were $150 cards each. I
Oh.
was positive I was sitting on a gold mine, but again, early in my crypto, I didn't realize that was the top.
you should have
So-
sold immediately. You should have sold immediately. Why did you hold on?
100%. I had no idea.
Your crystal ball is broken. Why? You need
Right.
to get a one. You need to get a better one.
Yeah, it got like a
You should send me one.
$150
I'll take your
decking
broken
gods. But you know what's cool? Oh, actually, this is something that I did want to bring up because, like, as I've been in the space, I've been like learning more and more, and I'm more confident than I was when I started. Right? Clearly, like I can show many examples where I like made dumb calls, but most recently, I think the Hive Pump. Right? So the Hive Pump happened. And I'm now, because I've been in the ecosystem for a while, I feel more confident to make moves in those situations. Like I can recognize that the situation is just a random pump for a minute to take advantage of it and then get back into assets later that I had. Like and so this is now the second Hive Pump I've participated in. The very first one, I put like $20 from Hive into HBD, and then when it came back down, I put it back into Hive, and I made $5. So, yeah, that was my very first one. And then in this last one, I actually made like a lot bigger of a move. I moved 700,000 DC into Riftwatcher packs. And then after the pump, sold those Riftwatcher packs back for DEC, made about 60K DEC, something along those lines, maybe like a 10% on DEC. But more specifically, I bought from the store, and so I got 121 airdrop points for free. So like in the Hive Pump, I got
paid 60,000 deck.
Do what?
You got paid 60,000 deck to pick up 121 airdrop opportunities.
Exactly. That's great. That was my Hive Pump story, and I'm not. It's cool being a part of the ecosystem because I know when those things happen, and like not financial advice, guys, not financial. There's nothing I know in the crypto space, but I've seen enough of them at this point that I know statistically what they are and when they happen that they're unsustainable. And so I'm totally confident moving in those situations at this point just to take advantage of it and then get back into whatever I was, as long as I found a stable asset to get involved in. And like I've been eyeing Rift Watchers for months now. It is probably one of the most stable products that we have in Splinterlands at this moment, because that floor of 420 is really solid. That's about the 20% discount from buying in bulk from the store. And then more specifically, having Rift Watchers sellable on the non-card market has been huge, because now like cards sell really, or Rift Watcher packs sell really easy on the non-card market. That's like, that might be an unknown secret for some people, but like the fiat on ramp for credits, I think did a fantastic job for Rift Watcher packs. And so yeah, I was really confident making that move, knowing that I was going to get all my DEC back and some. And it's just from being a part of these ecosystems and learning, knowing that like just because the thing I own is pumping and it's up 30%, like that doesn't mean that it's not going to come back down. Like that was like a thing that I had to learn, is that just because it pumps, like that doesn't mean like you hold it, like you're just like, oh, it's going to go even higher. You got to understand the ecosystems, and Hive is one of those. Like there was no reason for it, just happens sometimes, and when it does, shuffle, do some stuff. So not financial advice though.
Is there any awards that we have for someone that has 15 consecutive messages in our chat?
We should make one and call it the Ape Award.
We can give him the Ape Award. You get the Ape Award, sir, for talking most. Thank you for your attention and your time. Thanks, everybody, in that case.
There we go.
People came in and broke up Ape's
Ape wall of text.
Ape
Well
wall
done,
of
Virus.
The Ape wall of text. Indeed.
It was my whole
man.
screen. I had to count it. Like every single comment said Ape of Wall Street.
At least we have somebody participating.
I agree. So good.
But yeah, did you guys? Oh, I know Damour and I talked. Like you didn't participate in the hive pump. Lorcas, did you do anything in the hive pump?
I did not.
Do you normally? Is that something that you participate in?
I did not.
I'm too slow to react to these pumps and dumps. Honestly, it's too fast for me. I don't know. Perhaps I need somebody to tell me when I need to sell and when I need to buy, because I just do it at the wrong time.
I fully am fine taking that risk myself. I would hate to be like, Damour, hive pump, and then have it like not be and be wrong about that. You know what I mean? Be like, yeah, go into HPD, and then like have hive even 5x from that point, and just be like, oops, enjoy your hive back dollars. Not getting back in the hive.
I'm kind of in the same boat here, Virus. I also don't have liquid SPS. All of my SPS is staked, right? So I'm considering unstaking it and maybe doing it, but you know, it'll be a slow. Although I have some time, I guess. You know, the watcher packs are available. I could consider doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky, right? Because like, what was it, a month or 2 months ago when I was talking about like I was done with my staked SPS and I did the unstaking process, and I was gonna like move those because I was really confident SPS was going down to 1 cent. Hasn't happened yet. Don't know if it will, but
not 1 cent, not yet.
Okay, why not?
Oh, no, I said it's not there yet. I'm not.
Oh yeah, no, I thought you were just confident. Like, no, it's not going to get there.
Oh no, I don't have any confidence that it's going to maintain its 2.89 cent current level.
Yeah, just under.
So
3
yeah,
cents.
I got lucky that I was really liquid in DEC at that point because I'd been selling my SPS and moving it into DEC because I believe that token will, in the short term, perform better than SPS will. And then I also had gap season rewards in DEC waiting for buying DECB, because at that point I was still I thought we were going to have the instant utility of being able to use DECB on guild building upgrades. And so I was just like, yeah, let's take that extra 20% and just go right into the building upgrade I was going to do. But when I found out at the town hall, so like, yeah, everybody that was watching on Splinterlands TV, they watched me just like dump 225,000 DEC into my guild. And so they were like, wow, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, no, they just announced DECB has no utility. Like, I'm not buying it anymore. So yeah, I think
it was the right call for both you and for them. I think it was the right call to use yours for the guild. That's what you wanted. And I also think it's the right call for them to not make it usable right now, because otherwise they've just inflated deck again.
Exactly. I was going to burn
inflation bad.
I was going to burn the same amount of DEC, but it was going to be, you know, I was going to get 20% more out of it than I should have. Yeah. But so yeah, I don't know. I will make sure that I kind of have more liquidity than I used to in the game. I think I'll always try to keep something available, take advantage of stuff like that when it happens.
So there's LPs that have pretty good reward rates. It's a great way to keep things liquid. Just check them out.
I was for a minute, but now I don't want to LP anything with SPS right now because I'm not confident it's chilling.
Okay.
Well, it probably won't, but I mean, the way that paired assets work and that reward percentage, it's hard to imagine you would lose in the LP with some gross numbers. But anyway, I don't know. Who knows?
All right, guys. I think on that note, let's end it. We've been at this for 1 hour and 34 minutes already, so I think that's
Lorcas.
Nice marathon session. Thank you, both of you fellows from the People's Guild. We appreciate your time and attention as well.
Got to be the same one, right?
I think it's one is Bojangles and the other one is Wesley Webbit.
Waskley. Yeah. That was Waskle.
But I am assuming things I don't know for sure.
Hey, People's Guild, who you guys talking to tonight? Today, this morning for you.
This time of day.
Yeah,
This
they
time
should
of
be
day.
recording their show. They should be recording their show
We
here
had
in a minute.
Chuni.
Oh,
Okay.
had Chuni. Okay, so they already recorded it. Good. Better be there in the morning. Get on it, guys.
So
I need my
Roga,
show.
Me and you are also going on their show at some point or other, right? So I hope you know that. And we're in talks about having them come over here to us at some stage.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Make
got
travel
a shout
plans.
out in there, Rogue. Oh, I did?
Oh no,
I got
was
a
just
shout
saying
out?
make travel plans.
Nice. Love Chuni.
You got a shout
But-
out, okay, from Chuni. All
Yeah.
right, nice.
Cool, good. So yeah, that show better be live in 10 hours or I'm going to file a complaint with your manager.
Ooh, okay.
Or give me 9 hours. Yeah, I'll already be at work by then. Yeah, 9 hours so that on my drive to work, I need my People's Guild. Need it.
Okay, supporter of the show. All right, guys, I think let's end it there. Thank you so much for everybody's time and attention. It's been awesome. And that'll be us until next time. See you out there in the Splinterverse. Cheers,
GG.
guys.